You can change your entire life by just changing one habit. Subscribe to our podcast and make listening a habit.
Change your mindset, manifest your dream life, and live magically with Rise and Align.
Raising the frequency one episode at a time.
Everything is always working out for us.
Hello and welcome back to the Rise and Align podcast, where we talk about all things high vibrational. We are your hosts. My name is Haley.
And I'm Demi, and today we're talking about my favorite subject, how to manifest money. So you'll be hearing this. This will be the first episode of 2025. So this is the perfect time to learn how to manifest money, especially not only starting off a new year, but right after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We can all kind of use it. Everyone's like, it's a tax season yet. Which leads me into, I think the first step to truly manifesting abundance and wealth is letting go of the stories you've been told and the stories you're telling yourself around money and abundance. So I think it's not only from our families, but as a society as a whole, there are so many wrong beliefs around abundance. Like everyone's like, the economy's so bad. And Bob Proctor would always say, you create your own economy. And I've said that to people, and some people will look at me like I am batshit crazy. But it's true. Like, your external reality is a direct reflection of your vibration. And so the amount of money that you have in your bank account is directly related to how you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And I mean, like, we might have to make 2 episodes on this because we can go on and on and on about how to, but let me hear your take on it.
Oh, money. I love money. Yeah, I agree more. First and foremost, what is your relationship with money? Does that word make you uncomfortable? Money, 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 money. Like, are you uncomfy? Because if you are, I think that there is a lot of work to be done around that. Mm-hmm. And like you had said, a lot of it depends on like societal beliefs or subconscious beliefs that you may have grown up around. Did you have a parent that had a belief about money that is not serving you anymore? And you may not realize it, but when you start to dive into maybe what they believed and how things are working out or may not be working out for you in terms of money or finances, you can probably correlate those beliefs with your current circumstances. So I think it's so important to address that. And we were kind of just talking about this a little bit, money and family perspectives, like growing up in an environment that may not have been quote unquote abundant, which abundance, there's infinite abundance here for us. But it took me a long time to believe that and to understand that. And that's something that growing up, like I didn't even hear the word abundance. Like I didn't know what that was. It was very lack based and scarcity mindset based. And so where do you kind of fall on the spectrum? Like, are you more lack mindset based? Like, do you worry that there's not enough money, not enough food, not enough this, that? Like, are you worried about like your resources running out? Because that is a major component to abundance and manifesting money. Like, you have to fully believe and trust that there is infinite abundance or resources or whatever it is here for you, because there truly is. And it's a mindset thing. Like, law of attraction, what you believe, you will attract.
Most definitely. I like that you said it's not just if you're worried about money, but it's about if you're worried about your resources. That is so major. And I feel like one of the societal beliefs that a lot of us are just like not consciously aware of is in the 20s when there was such lack. There was so much lack. So not our parents, but our grandparents, most of our grandparents grew up during that time when there literally wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm. And the Great Depression.
The Great Depression. So our parents learned those beliefs from their parents and taught them to us. Yay, fun. So if you're one of those people who's like, I can't have dessert until I clean my plate, you have a lack mindset around that area. And it's crazy how it really does show up in every aspect of our life, whether we have an abundance mindset or a lack mindset. So just becoming consciously aware of your thoughts and the stories in your head and like what you're telling yourself and how you're talking to yourself. It will really change if you could just change what your self-talk, like just change how you're talking about it. And then in the beginning, when you said, how do you feel when I say we're going to talk about money? Because the energetic charge that you have around money, that's how money feels about you. So if money stresses you out, and if you're always worrying about money, or if you're desperate for money, money's like, ew, ew. Think about that, you know? But if you're like, I know money loves me because everyone loves me and I deserve everything I want. Like, of course I'm worthy. That is going to make money love you. It's going to make money chase you. And today I was listening to a YouTube video from Jake Ducey. I love his videos. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. He was talking about how he read Matthew McConaughey's book and how at first he was like, I didn't want to read it because usually famous people's books like aren't that great and they're like ghost written and whatever. But I read it and it was actually really good. And I was going to make some videos on it, but I forgot. And I went on this trip with my wife to the spa and I walked in the steam room and all of a sudden Matthew McConaughey walks in the steam room. And I'm laughing. I'm like, no way. I love when I manifest crazy stuff like that. So I love to hear it from other people. And he was talking about manifesting wealth and how he had manifested Matthew McConaughey, $100 million. Now, what happened was he left LA. He didn't like the movies he was getting. He wanted ones that had like deeper meaning in them. And he was always starring in romantic comedies, but he's so good at it. But anyway, he quit and he moved out to Texas and like hadn't been working. And then he started getting offers that were really big and he kept on turning them down because they were not what he wanted to do. And after a while, he was like, oh my God, like I'm going broke. Like I need to find work. And so he went back to Hollywood and like tried to apply for jobs. And basically they told him no, and you're desperate and come back when you're not so desperate anymore. And so he was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Decides to go on a motorcycle ride like through Europe and just starts focusing on like everything that he has and just being present in the moment and letting go of this need. Now, I really believe that lack of desire and especially lack of need will give you everything that you want. It will it'll make you a magnet, because when you have what it is that you want, you don't need it. You're not desperate for it. You're not chasing it. You're not yearning for it.
Yes.
And your feeling has to reflect that. So if you no longer need it and you're not desperate for it, you're not worried about it, well, you're already abundant, aren't you?
I think to get to that point, you have to release the control that you have over things. Like you think like it has to happen a certain way from your same 9-to-5 job that you're working. That's your only source of income. And you have to make sure you go there because that's the only way you're going to get money. And that's how it's going to come to you. You have to control your external circumstances to make sure like bills are paid or this, whatever. But I think that creates like resistance and force and desperation. And then when you take a step back and you're like, just have a little bit more like trust and like not so controlling, you create space for the universe to allow things to unfold in a little bit different of a way, in a better way, things that are more aligned and that feel better. But in order to manifest money or abundance in a way that feels easy, you have to like flow with that and like not resist it. And money can come from so many unexpected sources. And I think that so many people have a disbelief about that. Like, money can only come from this or that. Like, I have no other way to get money. There are infinite ways that you can get money, and unexpectedly. You just have to like let go of the reins and let the universe take care of the details, because There's so many unexpected ways that you can get money, or ways that debt can fall away without you having to necessarily pay it. Like there's just so many like loopholes, quote unquote, but like if you think it has to happen a certain way, that's the only way it's gonna happen.
Yes, you have to be open to unexpected miracles. Because if you're like, no, I only make $89 a paycheck and that is it, and it's never gonna change, and I'm never gonna make more, and I have no rich relatives and it can't come from anywhere else, this is it. Well, I'm sorry, but that's gonna be it for you. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but miracles happen to me all the time. Money loves me. Unexpected money falls in my lap on a regular freaking basis in increasing amounts, consistently, continuously, forever.
Money loves me.
Money loves me. And there is infinite abundance here for you. And I don't care if you think I'm delusional, whatever. Like, yep, I'm gonna keep being delusional. Like, because it works. It's working for me. Like,
literally.
Always.
The human mind has like the need to figure out, like, so we'll say this, and I bet a lot of you are like, okay, but how? Like, where? And then you start thinking of ways that you could maybe unexpectedly get money, but then it's not unexpected. Like, you're not truly surrendering to that concept. Like, you truly just have to trust and believe that money is flowing to you always from multiple sources. But you can't just sit there and be like, maybe it'll, like, you can't overanalyze it. Like, you need to let it go and like let it flow. You can't hyper focus on it.
Yes, let it go and let it flow. Which brings me to another thing that I think is interesting. When we talk about money, we talk about cash flow, and we talk about liquid assets and cold hard money. Like, it's all actually like water terms, which is interesting because money really does flow. And if you hold on to money tightly because you think there's going to be lack, then you're not allowing it to flow. You have to be able to let it go and let it flow in order for it to come back to you. And every time you spend money, you can be like, this is going to come back to me at tenfold or a millionfold or whatever. Like, it's always coming back to me. There's always more than enough. You know?
Yes. And you need to be affirming that when you're paying your bills and stuff, and when you're in your bank account and doing stuff like that. Like, you need to like be in a relationship with money. Treat your bank account like you're dating it. Like, pour your love into it. Treat it nice. Words of affirmation, like all the different love languages. Like, treat your money good, because then it'll treat you good. Like, build a relationship with your money.
Fall in love with it, and it will, and fall in love with yourself, actually, because the self-talk is so key.
And what's interesting, kind of going back to like, how do you feel when I say money? If you notice, well, we're talking about money, like, we're so excited and happy. We're just like, money. Like, think about that, like, when you're talking about money, because like I said, if that makes you uncomfortable, or if you don't feel good when you say money, like, you have to work on your mindset about money.
Or if you're saying like, I can't afford that, I'll never have that, I could never make that much. I don't know, maybe I'm missing a little spark plug in my brain or something, but there is nothing I can't have. Nothing. Like, I don't believe that. Maybe I don't have it right now. Sure. I'll admit that, I guess. But I can't. No, there is nothing. There is no number that I can't have. Like, it is infinite. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that I feel like I want like more money than Elon Musk or something. But I don't believe that's impossible. I genuinely don't.
And in fact, being able to look at people who do have it and being like, wow, like, using that as inspiration, or
look what is possible.
Yes, like, I can have that too because this person is doing it. Like, and to me, one of my favorite things is like listening to or being around people who are making money the way that I want to make money.
Yes.
Because you can see their behavior, their habits, how they're making the money, and then you can do that too. It's proof. And you learn from them. You can make money the same way that they are. So even if you aren't making money the way that you wish you were making money, don't be like, oh, I hate my job, it's stupid, I don't want to, like, spiral down that. Focus on like how you do want to make money, and making changes or being around people who are making money the way that you want to make money.
Yes. And I mean, One, I love just listening to people and getting to know people and gathering information about people who are living the kind of lifestyle I want to live,
Mm-hmm.
even if they're not doing it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe they have a different passion than me, because it's so cool to see that there are infinite ways to become wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
There are infinite ways to become
Mm-hmm.
wealthy. And maybe you don't want to create a car company like Tesla or something. Maybe you just don't want to do anything. Maybe you want to inherit it. I don't know. Maybe you want to marry someone rich, or maybe you want to start a fashion company, or like literally anything, like, but follow your bliss, because it's so insanely true. And I know we've all heard it a million times. Do what you love and you will become wealthy, and you will never work a day in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think obviously there are people who make a lot of money who are super miserable.
Yes.
And I think that, those aren't necessarily the people that I would want to be like looking up to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think that everyone who has a lot of money is aligned, but you will find that, people who absolutely adore what they're doing and love it and pour their heart into it will become successful and will gain what they're looking for. And maybe it's not necessarily just money that they're looking for, but when you are aligned and doing what you love, money will follow you. And I think that if that seems like not possible given your current circumstances, start taking like steps towards like watching those, or like monitoring what those people who are doing what you want to be doing, and just start altering your lifestyle or your mindset to align with theirs. Like, you can make little tweaks and it'll start making a difference.
Absolutely. Little habits, even just changing one little habit every day will change everything. I also think love and abundance are like this. Are they not the same? I don't know, And I say that because the more that you love yourself and love others, the more you align with the abundance frequency. And I've noticed, like, when I take really good care of myself, like I'm eating really healthy organic food all the time, I'm taking supplements, I'm working out, like I'm pouring so much into me, like I'm, getting my nails done or doing my hair, whatever, like just taking care of myself, buying myself nice clothes that I really love. I am more abundant always. Like it always comes back. I'm allowing that flow of money. And the more that you value yourself, the more valuable you become, and the more value you attract in your life. And you also, like, how you feel about yourself reflects on how you treat other people. So the more that you are grateful for other people and the things that you already do have, you're pouring value into your life internally and externally. It's constantly always coming back to you. There was one thing you mentioned. You said when you're paying bills, you really want to think about like how that makes you feel. I read this book. It's called Busting Loose from the Money Game by Robert Scheinfeld. And he has this part in there that I really, really like. I just want to share it. He talks about how we create our reality with our mind, and how we create bills for things as like this ornate design in the human game, right? And that we want to think of these bills as expressing appreciation for the abundance that we have. So like, I'm going to read what he says that we should say. When you sign the slip, conclude by saying something like this: I express this appreciation from the infinite abundance that is my natural state, knowing that as I make this expression, the abundance I experience in my hologram expands and returns to me. I love that. Like, when you're paying your bills, you're just expressing appreciation for this ornate design that you created in your reality.
Yes.
The other thing is with bills, if they make you feel like, ugh, put them on autopay and quit thinking about them.
Yes. And don't wait until the last second to pay your bill.
Oh my
because
God, no.
that is like, you're creating resistance. You're thinking about it. You're kind of creating a void of like a place where it just energetically money knows it. You're like creating this that just means you have a belief that you don't have enough money to pay it right now.
Yes. Yes. That is such a lack mindset thing to do, is to wait and to also, and so I will say, not all of my bills are on auto pay, but I don't feel bad about paying them. I don't get like, oh, I'm like, here you go. I got it. I always got
My
it.
Monopoly money.
Literally. And I always, always, always pay my bills early. I've never paid a bill late. Like, I'm always on top of it. And it just like blows my mind how people don't put their bills on auto pay and then they don't always pay them on time. I'm like, what? Like, that would stress me out. Like, and I love to have all my bills paid. I'm like, yep, bills paid.
It feels so
Like,
good.
Yes.
Even if you're in a place where like you can't buy anything else, like, oh, how amazing it is that your bills are paid. Like, that feels so good. You paid for all the amazing things, your nice home that you got to live in all month or whatever. Like, that is like a frequency of appreciation for your experience here.
Nervous system relaxed.
Yes.
Like, safety check.
Yes.
Bills paid.
Yes.
Like, that's what that is. Yeah. So I just definitely would say, put your bills on auto pay.
Yeah. So, and I love that you said like money and love are kind of like this. So I think it has a lot to do with your heart chakra. If you have a blockage in your heart chakra, it's unlikely that you're going to have a good relationship with money. You have to have a good relationship with yourself and like a loving outlook on the world, I feel like, in order to like manifest that back in. And the heart chakra, the color for that is green, the color of money, like hello. And yeah, I just feel like the ties between like love and self, why can't I say that word? Self. It doesn't sound right to me. Okay. Self-worth. It really is like crucial to have that in order to feel like you're worthy enough to have money. If you have a poor sense of self, you aren't going to think you're worthy of having money. And you may not think that on a subconscious level or connect the dots for that on a subconscious level, but like if you don't feel good about yourself or have a negative opinion of yourself, you naturally are going to believe you don't deserve money either. Like,
so that's the thing. It all comes from the feeling of unworthiness. And it's interesting you say that. Like, I've been aware of this for a while, just obviously like doing the work that I do, but there's this group that I follow. It's called like High Value Women or something like that. And they often talk about how when women do their program, not only do they attract like the love they desire and deserve, but all of a sudden their businesses flourish because it is 100% related, because it's all about how you're feeling about yourself. Once you feel worthy of the love and the abundance in every form, then you attract it.
Yes, it's so true. It's so aligned. And I think we were talking about like how we were going to talk about this without like going so in depth, but it's just like it's all encompassing, like how you feel about yourself and how you interact in your life and your mindset, like it all impacts money, the money that's coming to you, because money is a frequency. It's not a tangible physical thing like we think it is. It's literally a frequency that you have to align to, like tune your radio to the abundance frequency. Like,
yeah. So perfect transition to align to the abundance frequency. Somewhere to get started is focusing on the abundance that you do have in your world right now. And we have talked about this on several episodes, but there is always infinite abundance here for you. Even if you're like, I'm freaking homeless, living on my friend's couch, like I have nothing. There is infinite abundance here for you, and you will see it in the world outside at any given moment in time. Let me give you some examples. In the summertime, if you live somewhere where there's grass, there's infinite shards of grass. You go to the beach, there's infinite specks of sand. You look at the sky, it's different every moment of every day. The breaths you take, as long as you can ever remember, have been consistent and infinite. I was thinking there's infinite abundance in every season where we live. In the fall, there are infinite leaves falling from the trees. In the winter, there are infinite snowflakes, and they're literally all individual. That is mind blowing to me. I still can't believe it. I learned it in first grade, and I'm still like, wow, really? Let's see, spring, my favorite. There are infinite flowers blooming. It's so beautiful. Like, there is always infinite abundance here for you, and you will especially see it in nature, which is also predominantly green, like our heart chakra.
Yeah, there's nothing I love more than like heart chakra activation in the woods. Like, that's one of the reasons why I went to Ireland this summer. Like, the Emerald Isle, like green everything. And we have an episode about the impact of color and the frequencies of color and how that can be really important and a helpful way to help you align with a specific intention. And green is so special because it is the color of money. It is like the color of abundance, but it's also the color of the heart. So it can help you kind of bridge the gap with love and money, like kind of bring that together and, find yourself in nature and noticing the abundance. And honestly, that's so, so important. And just being more intentional about your daily habits, your practices, maybe doing a little ritual that helps you feel more abundant, dressing for abundance, like dressing as the version of you that makes $10K a month, like really thinking about how you can intentionally show up in your life as someone who already is abundant in money, if that's what you're manifesting,
Just, I think abundant in everything because like you kind of mentioned earlier, I don't think that everyone who has a lot of money is necessarily aligned or has a lot of abundance in every area. It's interesting because you'll see people who are abundant in every area are like happy and they're talking about the things that they love versus a lot of times people put so much, it's like they put so much emphasis on money. It's like they put money on a pedestal and that will happen with both wealthy who have money and they use it as like their cover, like I am worthy because I have this money. It's like their ego kind of talking. And then you'll also hear it in people who have massive lack beliefs in their life. They will be like, this costs $600 and I met this guy and I know him and he's got millions of dollars and he let me drive his Corvette. Like, like you'll just hear people like, and I don't think they realize it. They're putting the money on the pedestal. Like they're almost like bragging about like, well, I know these people who made money and I know these people who have money and like this costs this much, even though I don't have anything.
Yeah.
And it's like the money isn't the goal actually.
Yeah.
Like the feeling is the goal. Another thing I was thinking too is not only taking care of yourself, and like self-care, self-love is absolutely number one key to this, but also taking care of your belongings, like showing appreciation for everything you do have. Because think of this, if you are wealthy, do you imagine living in like a pigsty and just like having crappy broken stuff everywhere and like just not taking care of anything? Like, no. When I think of wealth, I think of like pristine, like everything is clean, I have everything I want, like everything's cozy, it's well taken care of, like that to me feels wealthy.
Yeah, that's another thing that it's just making me think of, like when you're shopping, what are you buying and why? So are you at the grocery store and you're buying everything just because it's the cheapest? Well, that means you think you're not worthy or deserving of something that's higher quality. And you might be in a position where you can't quote unquote afford the higher expensive option. And I don't think that necessarily the higher expensive thing is the better thing or the more expensive thing is the better thing. But if you're picking things out saying, oh, that's 99 cents is the cheapest, I'm getting that, that's the cheapest, like, and focusing on that, like that is very lack mindset based. And I also think of like, I have been loving thrifting and I've loved antiquing for a while. And I do it because it's fun and it brings me so much joy. And I think that things that were made in the past are a lot higher quality than they are now. And that is why I buy them. And I think I'm like so excited because a lot of pants and jackets and things are made with wool or cotton. They were made with real materials back in the day. And like furniture was made with real quality, good wood and like really good quality. So that's why I love thrifting and I love the hunt and I think it's so fun. But there's a lot of people who thrift because they're like, it's cheap. I need to get it because it's cheap and I can't afford to go to the store, like to the mall or whatever. Like it becomes like almost like they just need to do it because of their lack of beliefs. And so I just think that it's really important to be mindful of like of that when you're shopping. And maybe you don't want to spend more money on something, but like find a reason why you're buying something other than it's the cheapest.
And just know that like especially when it comes to food and like the clothes that you're wearing on your body, like you're investing what you're paying for that in yourself. And again, the more you invest in yourself, the more valuable you become. And your external reality will reflect that. So if you're feeding yourself McDonald's and Dollar Tree every day, well, you're not going to attract a lot of money.
You're going to have a McDonald's and Dollar Tree health that you'll then have to pay for down the road anyways.
Yes. But if you are feeding yourself like organic, healthy, homemade, like put love into it, like that's going to be your outcome. Like you're going to have more energy. You're going to think clearer. You're going to make better decisions and you're going to make more money.
Make more money.
Yep. Period. So I eat organic because I want to be rich. That's that.
Because I am rich.
Because I am rich because I deserve it. Like we were talking about this before and I think it's funny and so I want to share it. Both of us were like, yeah, you know, I've always just wanted the best of things, you know, and I've been called selfish at times in my life because I wanted the best things. But here's the thing, like I've never at one point in my life was ever like, I'm going to take the best to hurt someone else or because I don't want them to have it too. It's just that I only ever thought about like how I felt.
Yeah. Like, yes. And if you get offended by that, like you have lack beliefs because you're like, if she has it, then that means I can't have it or something like that, you know? But if you are like, you can have it and I can have it and we can all have it and you're happy for other people who are successful and making lots of money, like you know that you have that coming your way as well. So it's not triggering. You're not like upset because you know you have the potential within you and that you can have that too. You start to get offended or hurt or whatever, mad at people who are successful when you don't believe that you are worthy of that yourself.
Yes. You get a car and you get a car and I get a car. But here's the thing, like when I say there's infinite abundance here for us, I mean it. Like people always do this thing where they're like, oh, that person is so rich. I hate them. I will never have that kind of money. They were born into it and I'll never be born into it. And I'm so mad. The money's like, I don't like you either. Like, you know, and you got to think about like, that's the vibration you're on is the lack. You can change your perspective around that and be like, look at how much money it's possible to have.
Yeah.
And if I'm attracting this kind of person into my reality, even if it's via social media, I'm still, that's proof that I am manifesting that. That is a proof that I am attracting that into my reality.
Yeah. Not gonna lie. Like sometimes I am a little mad that like I wasn't born into royalty and don't have a castle to live in. But like I have seen Americans buy castles and renovate them and live in them. And I know that it's possible. And I am so certain that I'm going to have a castle someday.
Yes. That's the thing though. Like we each have our own pie. Like just because somebody else has that doesn't mean I can't have that.
And you probably don't even want what they have anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we all are meant for such a different path and to have different things and do different things. Like, why do you even care? You don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah. You have your own pie and you can make it even better, but it's all up to you. It's about what you put in your pie. Are you
Season it
putting
exactly how you want it?
Are there abundance beliefs in there, or do you got a lack pie? Like, because I don't want your pie.
The Walmart pie.
Oh,
or
God.
The
Oh, God.
homemade, like hand-picked local berries. Like,
My
that's the
pie
pie
is
that I'm-
everything. I just
Mhm.
want to say.
It's a delicious pie.
But so is yours. Like, you know, like you don't, I'm not taking anything from you. I think though that too, part of being highly successful is completely believing, like being delusional, because here's the thing. If I were to be like, I just don't believe I'll ever have a castle, then I would never try to get a castle. And then guess what? I'd never get a castle.
Yeah.
But like you think about, I love thinking about people who've invented like major things in history, because the Wright brothers, like I will never get over this. Do you know how absolutely insane probably people thought that they were? Like, we're going to invent a flying machine. They were like, yeah, right. What do you think? You're a bird? Like, imagine the jokes. Imagine how people probably were like, these people are absolutely insane. Put them in the insane asylum. Like, and people will say that. Like, I've had people say really mean things to me, and like, I just don't believe that, you know, mumbo jumbo, that nonsense, whatever. And it's like, okay.
Sorry. Oh my God. That's
I'm so
unfortunate.
sorry your imagination isn't working in the right way, because as long as I believe I can, I'm going to try, and eventually I will succeed. But if you never believe you can, you're never going to try, and you will not succeed. So what is it? Is it better to be open-minded, to be delusional, and to be trying and to be looking for all of the solutions and the answers? Isn't it better than to be like, it'll never happen for me?
Like, what fun is that? Even if it doesn't happen, let's say. You feel so much better thinking that it could.
Yeah.
Like, that in itself is so profound. Like, you will feel so much better believing the possibilities, the infinite possibilities, than focusing on any of the potential bad, lack, negative things going on in your life.
Yeah. Abraham Hicks talks about that too.
Ew.
Like, manifest because it feels good. Don't do it for the material possession or the love or whatever. Do it because it feels good. And I think that people don't realize how profound it is to feel good, because feeling good will actually change your brain chemistry and change then therefore how you're feeling and acting, which will actually change your reality. So when you're living in a constant fight or flight, you're not thinking very clearly. You're not solution based. You're not abundance based. You're not grounded. You're not calm. You're not confident. You're nothing in yourself that you are truly. And so when you can flip that and be like, okay, I feel good. I believe in myself. I'm here now. You're gonna make completely different life decisions, and you will have a completely different life.
That is the exact like descriptions of like balanced versus an unbalanced heart chakra. So I'm just saying, you should definitely, like, the groundingness even can be so important, and like helping you make better decisions and like feel more connected to like all that is. Like, when I think of being grounded, I don't think of necessarily like being grounded in reality. I think of being like grounded into the earth, where I think the earth itself displays so many opportunities for infinite abundance. So when you're like grounding into earth, like you're connecting with that energy, and it can be really healing for your heart chakra and for helping you connect with yourself and to like the worthiness of having. You're allowed to have stuff. You're safe to have stuff. I think a lot of people feel unsafe to have things, money, or like they never had it, so they don't know what to do with it, which is ironic, because money would solve a lot of like the things that they want fixed, but they also are uncomfortable with money. They feel unsafe with it. They don't know what to do with it. They haven't had a lot of money before. And that can also stem from an imbalanced root chakra. So feeling safe and secure in your body and in your life can be really important in manifesting money too.
Yeah, definitely.
That being said, I think it's really important to like be mindful of who you're listening to, who you're around, what they're saying, because you can take on their beliefs unintentionally. And we have multiple episodes on music and the power of music and manifesting, and how it can be a great tool to manifest. And Russ is one of our favorite artists. Obviously, we talk about him a lot. But I wanted to read just a few of his lyrics because it's like his music is such like a masterclass to like manifesting abundance. Like,
Yes.
honestly, I could just like read his lyrics and it would be like a crazy manifesting abundance book. Like, it's so good. And so I also recommend listening to some of these songs because it can help you connect with that frequency and vibration. And it's so fun to like be singing these affirmations basically to yourself.
So also, I've learned that singing is way more effective for changing your subconscious mind than just speaking. And it's partially around like, you think about you sing your favorite songs, you chant them, they're totally spells, but you memorize all the lyrics. And if you sing what you're desiring to manifest, it's going to have that same impact where you're going to memorize it and it's going to become a habitual thing for you, which will help you manifest it. But I was also going to say, check out our high vibrational music episode because that is such a major tool to manifesting abundance.
Yes. Okay. So this is Since I Was Broke by Russ. I've been saying I was rich since I was broke. It's a state of mind. You gotta know that it's gonna happen for sure. And then like paid off. All my cars paid off.
Some houses too.
Yes, I love.
I could never get laid up. I don't know about you.
Freed up. I'm freed up to do what I please. I love it. Listen to my spirit and my heart. Gotta trust it.
Yes.
Like, so good. Can't be me. Rich is in your mind, not in your wallet. Mix a little passion with persistence. Next thing you know, you got listens. Next thing you know, you got riches. Like, it's all about like aligning like your passion and your mindset and doing the work. Also, he references a lot of like spiritual books and teachers and leaders. And obviously he has other things in his music too, but it's just like they're literal master codes to manifesting money. And I think it's been such an amazing tool for me and something that makes me so happy and excited. And I think that pairing things like that, or doing things like that that also elevates your emotion is so powerful, because when you are elevating your emotion with like some sort of ritual, that is so powerful, like in manifesting and calling things to you. Become like a beacon for it to like come to you. You're like a magnet.
Yes. So not only be really like consciously aware and even intentional about what you're listening to, but I think the major key here for me, and again, I think it's good to be delusional. Call me crazy, but I love it. I will be like, that's me. It is me. I have it. Like, and like the words I am singing, I'm not like, oh yes, Russ has all this and I can't. I'm like, yeah, Russ, that's how we got it.
Like, I know. It's so true. It really like, it's so powerful. It's so true. I do that too.
Yes. It's so good. And then it makes you feel so abundant. And next thing you know, cha-ching, Venmo.
Okay, so that is the last thing that I will say for this episode. I just looked at the time and it was 4444. The time of the length of the podcast, not the actual time, but an amazing ritual that you can do, especially for people who are maybe like entrepreneur or have their own business, or you can even just do this with your bank account. But just like when you're visualizing, or if you're doing any sort of money related ritual, or if you're just like meditating or just sitting here, we'll just have a little visualization. Start thinking about, maybe it's your phone screen, thinking about the notifications popping up. Bing, like this much money coming in from Venmo. Oh, $200 just got deposited into the bank account. Oh, another one, $400 just got deposited in the bank account. Like, start visualizing whatever source that you want to get your money from, or all sources. Just imagine your phone start blowing up with notifications of the money coming in. Your bank account is continuously growing, and people are Venmoing you. You don't even know why. Maybe you just made a sale. Maybe you just made 10 sales. Like, whatever resonates with you, just allow yourself to visualize that and just feel that. Like, feel how good that feels to have the money flowing into you. Well, the abundance is flowing to you, but the money's flowing into your account. Feels so good.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Loved that so much. I'm over here laughing like, yes, I do get Venmoed and I don't even know why. I love that. Yes. Another couple of things I have read that were like little actions you can do. Abraham Hicks has one where she talks about everyday journaling about having like a certain amount of money and then write down what you're going to spend that money on. Like today you get $1,000 and you're going to spend it on XYZ, like my hair and my nails or something like that. Tomorrow you're going to double that. And then every day you just keep on doing that, and you have to think of ways to spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, eventually it gets to an absolutely ridiculous point. And I think that it's funny because that is really what the ultra wealthy have to deal with, is like they no longer think about money at all,
Mm-hmm.
because like they could never spend it all if they tried,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So I think that that's like a perfect state to be at too, is like, I spent all my money, like I can never spend all my money. Like
Mm-hmm.
I bought everything I ever wanted, and now I don't need anything.
More.
There's still more. There's always more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fun little exercise to do, and just to think about like all the things that you would enjoy having, you know, with that money. Like I really think that once you come up with ways to spend the money shows up for that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember before I became a life coach through Nick Bro, one of the videos I watched of his that made me want to work with him, he was talking about how he found his dream vehicle and he like wanted it so bad, but it was really expensive and he didn't have the money for it. And he was like, oh, but I really want this one. Like there's only this one in this one color at this one dealership that I really want. And like, it's going to get sold if I don't get it right now. And like somehow a couple days later, he manifested that exact amount of money to buy that car that he knew he wanted.
Yes. If there's a reason for money to be there,
it'll show up.
And not to like, you know, do this in a way that's like silly. Like you don't need to like max out your credit card on random clothes or something.
No.
But if there's a reason for money to be there, like she will show up for you. Money is consistent and she like loves to be the center of attention. So like if there's but if you are just like, I need money, but like maybe you need bills paid, but you're just like not really like aligning your intention with what you want the money for, like money's confused. Money doesn't want to come over. Money doesn't know why you want her there. Like,
yeah. And also to not doing it in like a contrasting way, not being like, I want this Chanel purse, but I can't have it. I can't afford it. Instead be like, I'm going to have that soon. And this is how it's going to feel. And I'm so excited to be carrying this bag around with me. I love it.
Yes. I was just watching this live sale with this. I just love her. I think we're friends just because I watch her, but she, you know, it's a one-way situation. But
if she knew me, we'd be besties.
I mean, she does like these stories and stuff. Like we're kind of friends, but I don't know. Anyways, she was just talking about, so when I say live sale, I like watching like antique and thrifting live sales. So it's my new hobby. And she was just talking about, she was actually like a makeup artist at like Macy's or something like that when she was in her 20s. And there was this really high end like section of the store with these really high end crocodile purses and this brand, I don't remember the brand name, but she would go to work and she'd look at them and she fell in love with that brand. And she was like, I'm going to have one of those one day. Like those are so amazing, but they were really expensive. And she was like really young at the time and, you know, not necessarily at the making much money or whatever. But she now is just like at home selling stuff. She thrifts these bags all the time. Like they just fall into her lap. Like she thrifts them for minimal money. And she has like the bag that she's dreamed of, and she's helping other people get them at a low cost too. Like it's just like so fun and cute. Like I just think
I love
it's so
that.
sweet.
It's
but
so
she
much
wasn't
fun.
like, I can never have that, like, whatever. She was just like, oh my God, she fell in love with them. And she's like, I'm going to have one of those one day. And she does. I just think it's cute.
That's the way. Don't block yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just know it's going to be yours. It's already yours. It's already yours vibrationally. It's just, sometimes it takes a little second for the reality to catch up, but it's coming, you know, it's so coming. I would also recommend checking out our feng shui episode, because there's so much in feng shui that has to do with like the flow of abundance into your home, and just removing things that no longer serve you to make room for the new to come in. That would be another great episode to check out.
Yes.
One more like actual tool you can use too, sleep affirmations. Sleep affirmations are so good to reprogram your subconscious, because it is more permeable while you're sleeping, and then you literally don't have to do the work. They just sleep.
Yes, you just
make
like,
money in your sleep.
You're just programming. You're getting programmed while you sleep.
Yes.
Yes, we'll definitely do another episode on more magical ways that you can get abundance or like attract abundance. We are witchy women, so we love doing spells, and there are just like other really cool witchy ways that you can manifest abundance. So we'll do that sometime.
Yes, manifesting money with magic.
Yes.
I can't wait. We could go on and on, but I think this is a good length for an episode. So let us know what you guys think. Please comment below any questions, and also comment below, affirm infinite abundance is here for me.
Mm-hmm. Infinite abundance is here for me. Let's affirm it.
Yes. Infinite abundance is here for me. Money loves me, and I love money.
Money loves me, and I love money. Yes. They're so good. I don't have a tarot set with me today, so we'll have to, maybe we could pull something from Busting Loose.
All right, let's do it. This is such a good one for money. It really, honestly, like, you know, when people do the little trend, like books that changed my brain chemistry, this is the one. This is the one.
It's so funny because it has the silliest cover, like the one with like the paper cover or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a silly, cheesy little cover.
It totally is. It's like actually a great book. Mm-hmm. When I read it, I was like, it's like I wrote this. Like, there's a line in here that is like, it totally makes you have a existential crisis. Yeah. There's a line in here that makes you have an existential crisis. I swear to God. All right.
So we're going to leave you with this. And we just encourage you, as always, to like reflect on this after the episode and have some mindful moments with yourself with this message.
Okay, so there's a line in here that was underlined actually by my mother, who gave this book to me. There's always another level of success above yours. With only a few exceptions of people at the highest levels of financial success, there's a trap built into the money game that most people fall into at one point or another. The trap gets sprung when someone at a specific level of financial success compares himself or herself to someone at a higher level of success and develops new desires that appear attainable but far away at that moment. For example, someone's making $250,000 a year and feeling pretty good about herself sees someone making $1 million a year and suddenly feels inferior by comparison. When you fall into this trap, it is focusing on lack rather than abundance. Whereas if you continue to focus on the abundance that you have and realize that it's always coming from internal, it is not an external source, then you will continue to attract abundance. Mm-hmm. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
That's a pretty decent one.
Love that. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. We love and appreciate and adore you, and hope you manifest lots of abundance this year.
Mm-hmm. Please share the abundance with your friends, family, coworkers, everyone, because we all deserve it.
And us, because we deserve your support.
Yeah, we do. We do. We work hard for you guys. We love you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.